Buenos Dias, Buenos Aires. It's raining quite heavily at the host of round 3. UK ball on pole from Revo and Oscar Falstad. Then it's Jack Carter, Bastien Tan in 5th. Then it's Tommy, Sabo Campo, Jonathan Sims, Kari Lopez, and Daniel Baltasar to round out the top 10. Just outside is Buenos Jr. and countryman David Camino. Then it's Cici, Daf Sanchez, T. Gabo, and Santino Milan, the home driver, only 16th. Then it's Leo, Enoch Kiwi, P. Sierra, Cosmos, Lewis Olsen, and Miguel de Souza. Well, it's raining very heavily. You can see the drivers on the blue wall. Wet tires, all 5 lights go on. And we go green in Buenos Aires, and they are crawling off the line. UK ball off to a magnificent start, best possible start from Jack Carter there was to get right up to the back of his own teammate. Weber's going to be very vulnerable coming through turn 1, and he's taking the lead to reduce the vulnerability, and all of that vulnerability has been given to the Braun Honda man, who's having to now fight with Falstad over P3. And he's lost that fight already. So from pole position to 4th place, it's gone UK ball, following in one of his favorite F1 drivers' footsteps. Tommy up to P5, fighting with Jonathan Sims. That's 2 British drivers having a pretty awful opening lap. Sims coming through that chicane, and you can see the field not very spread out, as is the nature of racing in the Formula E Monoposto Championship. Jack Carter and teammate Revo rising the hill together, and they've collided. Carter's found himself with a time penalty. That's going to allow Falstad after that collision as well, as Lewis Olsen also getting himself a time penalty. Falstad's going to hopefully try and get a good run, but a better run had by Jack Carter, who looks at the inside and tries to take the lead, but is still alongside his own teammate on lap 1 of 12. Jack Carter has taken the lead of the Buenos Aires E3. And Revo, not one easily beat here. Looking to the back. Which side is he going to go? He's looking to the outside. He wants just the cleaner air in front of him with no spray, and that's allowed him now to just drive by him. And Weber now into the lead of the Buenos Aires E3, sending it down the inside there just to put the nail in the coffin for Carter's hopes of leading through turn 2. But he's going to have a better shot going into 3 as long as he can keep the toe. He's gaining a lot, but is it enough to keep the lead? And he's hit him again. 10-second time penalty given to Jack Carter for colliding with his teammate. This is one of the scruffiest opening few laps we've seen from him, as P. Sierra's hit the wall and is out of the race, and we've got a virtual safety car for that. My God, Jack, this is absolutely unnecessary. Yeah, the one driver you don't want to fight too hard with in motorsport is your teammate, despite that being basically your yardstick. And I think Jack Carter, in the midst of his first real title chance, I don't know if he understands what and why and how, the entire reason why Revo is leading the championship, considering that Carter's won so many more races than the Italian that is currently in front of him. But Revo does lead today. The Revolution seemingly has returned to the front of the pack. As on to lap 3 of 12 we go. Fastest lap goes to Oscar Falstad at 1:37.033. And he has been setting some very quick sector times. Sanchez setting a fastest 3rd sector, as down the inside goes Oscar Falstad to take 2nd position away from Jack Carter. Both these drivers Scandinavian, but Falstad's Norwegian. Carter is Danish, and he's looking to the inside. Don't collide with don't make a 3rd collision, Carter. You don't want to get 15 seconds worth of time penalties, because as it stands already, he'd drop out of the top 14. Heck, he'd drop out of the top 15. He'd currently be down in 16th position. Buenos Jr. getting a 5-second time penalty of his own for colliding with the side of an RQE. As he looks to the inside, can he make the move? Stick, not quite, he's not close enough. Almost a wall for Buenos Jr. A few less meters of turning there, and that would have seen his race be over. But now Cable, it's his time to try and get past Carter. Still following, trying to get a good grasp at where Carter's placing his car. I don't know if that's probably the best idea to get all that information from, but you know, could be worse. As we look to Jonathan Sims, the British driver driving in the number 21 Sims Motorsport Nissan car. He's currently in 10th. And not really having to defend from David Camino yet, however, he is closing in on him. Just like Falstad closing in on Revo. Looks to the inside line. He's set a new fastest lap on lap 3 as we're on to lap 4, and he's just not been able to close him enough. Tommy's found his way past Cable. He's on the outside of the DS Venturi driver. Top 4 now, all DS powered cars as Falstad looking to the inside. Sends one, and he's put him in the wall. Revo's out of the race. The revolution is over. Revo is out of this E3, and the championship is now blown wide open. Because Revo, he's the championship leader. Coming into this race, this was what he needed to have happen. But now, it just feels like we're going to see 3 different teams and 3 different drivers have a very good chance of winning a title. Revo, of course, he's got the brilliant consistency, but he's just made one of the biggest mistakes of his career if he leaves this season without the championship. Jack Carter's probably going to leave the championship battle just because of that 10-second time penalty. However, that would only drop him down to P7. The race leaders are pulling away here, but that doesn't mean that time penalty is insignificant, because that would currently put Cable up to 2nd, and he is a driver who needs he's a driver who needs a hell of points. Lap 5 of 12, 7 laps to go. And yeah, there's not really too much I can say. Drivers are spreading out, as is the nature of wet weather racing, as Miguel de Souza fighting with CC. Gets a lot more power going down the straight. Does that Nissan powertrain compared to the Renault. But I don't know what it is. Miguel's just going out there, finding grip where no one else can. And these are the kind of conditions the Brazilian really thrives in. Bastian Tan debating over 4th position with Tommy. The Hong Kong number 45 driver currently holding off Bastian for the time being. As David Camino now with a time penalty for colliding with the side of Daf Sanchez. Not really too much action happening as it is raining quite heavily. But this is probably going to be one of those championship flashpoints that we're going to look back on after London, and heck, if the championship does get wrapped up by then, maybe even Abuja, where we'll go, man, so that's where the championship was won. Because this is a race where Falstad can not just win this race, but take himself to 2nd in the world driver standings, Cable to 3rd, as he is currently 3rd in this race, as Sebastian Ocampo battling with Bastian Tan, who's been going down the order. Ocampo up to P5, but Oscar Falstad still leading this race. It's a race that I feel like if Cable just had a better start, would be leading. That's the thing about the Season 10 champion. The second half of Season 10 for Cable was utterly euphoric. Like, genuine domination on another level, a level only matched by Revo's insane run in the last 2 seasons. But now push has come to shove as CC out of the E3. And it's just Revo's incident again. He's just been forced into the wall. And another virtual safety car at half race distance. But we're looking with an Ocuri, the number 25. And honestly, there's not actually too much I can really say. Virtual safety car's ending. And all the drivers are hoping that the rain begins to lift. stuck around for a lot longer than we expected. And we don't expect to have a fully wet race today, but if that does happen, then so be it. There's a second gap between Carter and Cable, and the ball is rolling here. It's trying to close up to the back of Jack Carter. Doesn't actually have to overtake him on the track, but if he overtakes him on the track, he should be able to close in on Volstad. As you can see, battle for 7th, Bogdasar being a bit of a stopgap. Here comes Daf Sanchez down the inside, steamrolling down the inside, and up to P7. Sebastian Ocampo, by the way, up to P4. Bastian Tan and Tommy also trying to get past him. But Ocampo, as we go on board with him, went in very deep and is out of the race. Sebastian Ocampo out of P3 at the exact same part of the track where CC, Revo, and PCR all went out. Virtual safety car is out there now. You can probably widen the wall there. And we've only got 5 more laps. That's 5 more laps for Cable to pass Jack Carter. 5 more laps for Volstad to increase his race lead. And 5 more laps for this damn rain to stop. So we're still looking with Cable, who's trying his best to close in. As Volstad, his gap's actually closed quite a bit compared to what it was a few laps ago. It was 4 seconds, now it's just 1.4, 1.6. He's opening it up through the final section, and McLaren seems to be doing a very good job in the first and second. But it's the third sector where that DS Automobile car is singing in the hands of Jack Carter. On lap 8 of 12 we're now on. 4 laps to go. I'm having to record this one very, very late at night. So, I'm very tired. But Carter, still looking with the number 98 DS Automobiles driver. And yeah, there's not actually too much action going on up front because there are 2-second gaps between every member of the top 5. Roughly, just about. Leo making up the back of the pack. And if you just take a look at the drivers who are out, let me run through this for you. Champion, rookie to the championship but shows promise. Double champion, multiple time race winner. That is quite the resume for this track to say, yeah, I'm where these drivers retired. As Daf Sanchez holding up 7th down to 18th. By the way, there's a 7-second gap, and that's helping Jack Carter because currently he'd only got the 5th. So Daf Sanchez, whether he knows it or not, is helping Jack Carter stay in the title fight because there's not that much of a gap in it. 3 laps left to run. Tommy and Bastian Tan both into the pits for inters, and if you're going into the pits for intermediates, there's a chance that it might dry up. Top 3 are all staying out there on full wet tyres. What is Bastian doing? He's actually into the pit box now, and he's gone on to inters, and they've had to let Tommy go by. But for the top 3, the question is now, does it stay raining? Does it continue to rain, and will they need to go on to the intermediate rubber, or do they need to just come in for dry tyres? Because there's still rain falling. The rain hasn't stopped yet. You can see there's a lot more standing water now because not a lot of rain hitting the track, but you can see the wets. You can see when it rains a lot less and you're on the wet, they shine a lot more because it's got a lot of water on them. But is he going to come in? There's no rain. It stopped raining. The rain has stopped. They're going to go on to softs here, aren't they? It's going to be a 3-lap sprint to the checkered flag. And for the top 3, it's all going to be about who can make the fastest pit stop. As you can see, going through here, you can actually see the other side of the track. Into the pits comes Oscar Volstad and Carter and Cable surely to follow him in. And those are softs going on for Jack Carter. softs going on for everyone else. Faster second sector going to Tommy in his DS Venturi. But he's going to set the pit stop here. They've basically done it at roughly the same time. Can UK get out before Carter? Not quite. So he's going to have to get past him on the track. With just 2 more laps to go, the tyres will hold up. There were no tyre questions. They can push as hard as they want now. But there's still 2-second gaps there. But still on board with UK. And yeah, exactly losing time here. Attack mode is online. But still not too much that he can do because he's not within a second of Carter ahead of him. And Carter is close up to the back of Oscar Volstad. And Volstad's got a puncture. Oh dear. This means UK is going to inherit the race lead after Carter's penalty, but this is the one scenario no one would have accounted for. This is something that only Andretti has had happen to them multiple times in the season. This is the Ocampo scenario, and now Oscar Volstad's championship hopes might, just might, have slipped through his fingers. He's going to drop outside of the top 5 for sure, and he might drop to around 7th with his pit stop, but he's still dropping off the top 2. He's 17 seconds off. Tommy's going to come up to him before he comes into the pits. The penultimate lap will be started by Jack Carter. But will Volstad actually make it to the pits here? Because it's a weird puncture, isn't it? Yeah. Tommy goes by, so he'll inherit a podium. And teammate Vaskian San goes by as well. This is the one thing that the Norwegian absolutely did not want to have happen to him. But it's going to be a race about circumstance. It's going to be the race where Carter and UK both stick it to the Italian, who's been running the show since season 16. Champion in season 16, champion in season 17, but he's not going to finish in Buenos Aires in season 18. His teammate currently leads the way, but will his once teammate, his first teammate, UK be able to close in and try and get past? He's only got another sector to do it. He doesn't need to get past. He's got a sector and a lap to go. And 1.1 seconds has been the gap. And I don't know if he's going to be able to do it. A half sector and a lap to go. As we now enter the final lap here in Buenos Aires. Jack Carter leading the way with the fastest lap, taken by UK below 126.7. Roughly a minute and 30 seconds, that's the lap time around here. And he's close enough, he's got attack mode. UK is going to be closing in to the back of the DS automobile car in front of him, but is it enough to try and send one in turn 3? Not quite. There's more overtaking opportunities around the track, but I think that might just have been it. Just touching on Volstad now, he's dropped to 14th after that pit stop. And the fact that tyre pressures might have just decided his championship hopes as Jack Sanchez such a new fastest lap of a 126.5 is really, really worrying to think about, because that's another driver whose championship hopes would have been derailed by a puncture. The other one being, of course, Sebastian Ocampo, who probably doesn't like this specification of tyres. But into the final sector we go. UK is chasing down Jack Carter. Carter's got a 10-second time penalty, so either way, it's going to go to the Brit. But it's going to be on track when one of the biggest battles is going to be fought. Jack Carter has now UK with attack mode closing in. Carter will take the race on track, but UK wins the Buenos Aires E3, setting a new fastest lap of a 124.516. Tommy, 20 seconds off the back, so Carter will only drop down to second position. That's some solace in the entire situation, whether it be a 10, 15 or 20 second time penalty, the top two would not have changed They probably needed a lot more time there. Tommy coming home with a P3. Then it's Sebastian Tan, Das Sanchez, Daniel Bogdasarov. Jonathan Sims doing wonders in his car. Then it's David Cameron, Miguel de Souza, Bamnis Jr., Gabo, Inocui falls that on the back of the DS McLaren, of the Aurelio Mahindra car in front of them. And he set a rapid in the second sector as he now comes to the line. This is the fight for 12. Who's going to take it? Fastest lap going to Falstad, but he's only going to be 13. And it's Lewis Olsen, Akari Lopez, Santino Milan, Cosmos, and Leo, your finishers on the road. And this is the podium with penalties accounted for. Cable takes Buenos Aires, sweeps Argentina with pole and race win. Then it's Jack Carter and Tommy, your top three. Then it's Sebastian Tan, Das Sanchez, Daniel Bogdasarov, Jonathan Sims, and Miguel de Souza, the top 8. Then it's David Camino, T. Gabo, Baptist Jr., Anot Huey, Oscar Falstad, Akari Lopez, Santino Milan, Cosmos, Lewis Olsen, and Leo, your finishers. Your non-finishers were Celo Campo, CC Rubbo, and Tiziano. In the driver standings, Jack Carter now leads the way from Rubbo and Cable. Then it's Oscar Falstad, the gap from first down to fourth being 36 points rather. And it's Sebastian Tan, Sanchez, Bamnis Jr., Tommy, the top 8, with Celo Campo and David Camino being the top 10. Just outside of that, you've got Miguel de Souza, Santino Milan, Jonathan Sims, CC, PCR, Akari Lopez, Cosmos, and Huey, T. Gabo, with Daniel Bogdasarov and Leo, with Lewis Olsen being the only man still yet to score. In the constructors' standings heading into race 14, DS Automobiles leads the way from DS McLaren TGR and one Honda GP, then it's Andretti Honda, DS Venturi Formula E team, Sims Motorsport Nissan Nismo, Aurelio Mahindra, Dragon Renault, Aurelio Pinnacle, and Virgin Renault. We'll see you guys next time then on the Formula E Monoposto Championship returns.